In my New England Patriots 2023 draft class video, I gave the 6th round Demario Douglas pick an A+ due to his talent, the team's need for a wide receiver, and the value of getting him in the 6th round. I got some pushback from this because I was being a bit overzealous about Demario and that he might not make the team. Well, I will admit I might be too enthusiastic about Demario because he was one of my favorite guys in the whole draft. And I was ecstatic that we were able to nab him in the 6th round. Why? Well, I saw Demario in some East-West Shrine Bowl practice tape, and then watched Zay Flowers and immediately thought that the Patriots would take Demario in the 4th or the 6th instead of going after Zay or Tank Dell. He is nearly identical in size, speed, and is very, very similar in playing style. Yeah, I wouldn't say he was as good as Zay or Tank, but his value in the 6th made him an A+, and he's still my second favorite pick behind Christian Gonzalez. For me, I see Demario as the Patriots' quick and sudden slot receiver that can be a spark plug for the offense and potentially be a big contributor on special teams. Out of all the players drafted this year, I think Demario has the best chance to bring a unique talent for Mack and O'Brien with his 4.4 speed and elite leaping ability. Before we get into his measurables, let's talk about Demario's production at Liberty. In his 4 seasons with the Flames, he had 2,198 receiving yards and 16 touchdowns. In 2019, as a freshman, Douglas saw 4 games with 9 receptions with only 136 yards for an average of 15 yards per reception with only 1 touchdown. As a sophomore, we saw a bump with 11 games, 32 catches for 363 yards, and with 3 touchdowns and a QB rating when targeted of 115.5. As a junior, 12 games, 53 catches, 703 yards, 13.3 yards per catch, 6 TDs, and an outstanding QB rating when targeted of 141.4. As a senior, 12 games, 70 catches, for nearly 1,000 yards, for an average of 14 yards per catch with 6 TDs. It is important to note that Demario was considered a top contender for the Paul Hornung Award, which is the nation's most versatile player. This is due to Douglas being a threat as a kick returner and or punt returner, scoring 2 punt return touchdowns in 3 years as the team's primary returner. Now, in terms of measurables, Demario is very unique. He is 5'8", 179 pounds. His hands are 8 3/4 inch. Arms 30 1/4. Wingspan 72 1/2. His 40-yard was 40.44. 20-yard split 2.54. His 10-yard was 1.54. His shuttle was 4.29. 3-cone came in at 7 seconds. Vertical was 39.5, which is 91st percentile. Ready? His broad, 11'2", 99th percentile. His bench came at 12 reps. This gave us an RAS for a wide receiver of 7.26, which is a better RAS than Jordan Addison, Jaden Reed, Tank Dell, Trey Palmer, and several other receivers drafted ahead of Demario. Now, why am I so bullish on Demario? When watching film on Demario Douglas, you will immediately appreciate his athleticism. He is very explosive off the snap, which lets him to rapidly stem his route. Douglas is also very skilled at changing directions on a dime during his route and after the catch. He is small, but he uses this to his advantage and is capable of keeping a low center of gravity by sinking his hips and separating from defenders. He shakes defenders almost effortlessly. His agility and footwork is deadly in small areas and keeps defenders guesstimating where he wants to go. He also has a great talent for anticipating defenders moving in on him, as he regularly evades tacklers in open space. Demario has game-breaking acceleration and speed, which he exhibits when defenses slip up and give him a soft coverage at the line and no safety help over the top. Demario will find open space, and he can locate an open crease to make a big play. When the ball is thrown in his way, He shows good body control in order to make catches outside his body frame. If the ball is thrown above him, he displays that he can go up and catch the ball at a high point. When I first saw Demario on film at the East-West Shrine Bowl, I instantly thought about his ability to release with such a small frame and body weight. Well, he's very good at quickly stemming his route. However, he has an elite talent that is not standard for all NFL wide receivers. Prior to the snap, Demario pretenses his lower body to build tension to be released in the initial movement. He creates back pressure with his lead foot while still keeping his front knee directly over the middle of his foot. This lets him put pressure on his back foot and legs so he can burst off the snap. You can tell he does this because there's little to no latency, and he doesn't require a counter move to load his lower body. This is instant acceleration. When he accelerates, this forces the defense to close out on him, where he can throw a double move during his route stem, and he's gone. What is more, Demario has a tremendous head fake, which is more like a whole upper body fake, which forces the DB to flip his hips, and Douglas bursts in the other direction, and that is all she wrote. Now, there was another concern I had, which was him being isolated to the slot position due to his height. Well, his nearly 40-inch vert showed up on tape, where he was able to play on the perimeter and go up in contested catch situations. When making catches along the sideline, he does a great job of keeping his feet in bounds and is able to tightrope for a big gain. This guy can play just about anywhere. The other concern I had was Demario's below average hand size, but once again, he has eased those concerns with his tape, where he demonstrates incredible grip strength to make catches outside his frame. This allows him to consistently come down with the ball when he's up in the air. When the ball is thrown behind him, he does a good job of turning his body and pulling it in. Now, Demario's yak ability is what really can make him a threat. When this dude gets the ball in his hands, he is very elusive and greasy. He will do damage on screen passes. After securing the ball, he snaps and squares up his hips, allowing him to evade defenders and get upfield swiftly. In the middle of the field, he is unmanageable. Unmanageable. If you catch him in stride, he has immense big play potential. Now, some downside. Again, he is only 5'8" and he weighs 170 to 180, which could lead to some injuries and is a durability issue. Playing in the slot as well as on special teams will expose him to big hits. Plus, his size will hinder his ability to be an effective playmaker deep down the field. Moreover, it is likely he will struggle when lined up against press coverage. In addition, he won't be a big blocker as well. So how can they use him? Well, I think we see Demario take over Marcus Jones's role on the offense and possibly take on some special teams responsibilities. I like having Marcus on the defense. I think we might see him take on the slot corner role this season, which is exhausting and requires extensive preparation. So I don't think he'll have the time and energy to be throwing those offensive packages he was inserted into last year, especially if Bill O'Brien is looking to expand upon those packages. Now, I would like to see if Bill O'Brien can use Demario's game-breaking speed and agility in the backfield. Throw him in motion prior to the snap. Put him in the Z receiver. He can go on short and intermediate routes, both inside and outside. Douglas should be used in jet sweeps as well. In fact, one of my favorite plays with two fast receivers is a fake crack weak jet option strong, where you're in a cluster bunch formation out of the gun, where you're showing a toss crack towards the bunch with Stevenson, but Thornton is going to be put into an orbit motion prior to snap. Mack fakes the handoff to Thornton, but Demario runs the jet sweep under, where Mack tosses the ball to him. Thornton will mirror Demario in a pitch phase towards the strong perimeter. Now, Demario can keep or use Thornton as a pitch option if the defense jumps him. Now, before you get all, you can't run that because of blah 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 or whatever idea you have, I am simply showing you how one could use two quick athletes that have had success running jet sweeps and the immense amount of gadget plays O'Brien can throw in here. Now, for a more conventional play, I wouldn't be opposed to putting Demario in RPO, for example, in the backfield with a QB split zone bubble screen RPO, where Demario is in a pistol offset and Henry as a sniffer. Demario goes in motion, which gives us a read on the will backer prior to the snap. If the will backer stays put, you can go with Demario on the bubble behind Parker and Gesicki and Henry hitting the edge. If the will goes with Demario, Matt can keep it, or even go with a screen and go with Parker, which would probably lead to a touchdown. Again, the New England Patriots have to win with mismatches and versatility on offense. Demario has the characteristics and skill sets that create mismatches and can cause havoc on the defense. They will find more than one way to use him beyond special teams. Now, what does he need to work on? That being said, Demario's size is still a concern because he's about the size of a 6th grader. If Douglas does not want to be relegated, he has to put on weight to be a reliable player. His shiftiness should prevent him from being depleted, but I am going to be holding my breath every time I see the ball in his hands. His size should also impact his ability to make catches through contact. Coming out of the slot will require him to make catches down the center of the field while getting hit. If he is not able to consistently haul it in and secure those catches, I don't think we'll see him outside special teams. If he wants to be a full-time NFL receiver, he has to put on some weight without compromising his athleticism and big playability. Now, the take-home is that Demario Douglas was an underrated receiver in the NFL draft, and the Patriots picked him up with the potential to use him as a gadget receiver this year with special teams contributions. However, Demario does show good mechanics prior to the snap by keeping his legs and back foot loaded, where he explodes off the snap and is able to quickly stem his route better than most NFL receivers. In addition, he gets even more dangerous at the top of his route stem, where he can use several moves to manipulate the opposing DB's hips. He can take off in another direction, leaving defenders absolutely embarrassed. After making a catch, he does a good job of making defenders slip, and he blasts into open space. Now, I don't see anyone on the Patriots roster that has that skill set. Maybe Juju, but not like Demario. Demario has big playability, which has been an issue for a few years, and it's nice to have that type of player in the building. Now, I'm not saying Demario is going to be the first guy out there against the Eagles. I'm not even sure if he'll make the roster. However, I would be ecstatic to see him because if I do, I know O'Brien has a plan for him, and it's not running a flat or a slant or a comeback. Demario is here to be a looming nightmare for defenses and a spark plug for the offense. Yet, we got him in the 6th round. So, what do you think about Demario? Will he make the team? Can he be the ultimate gadget player? Can he be that spark plug for the offense? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.